Welcome to the Highly Sensitive Podcast. I'm Lauren LaSalle, and I'm a former therapist. I'm a highly sensitive person and a self-care and empowerment coach for highly sensitive people. My goal for this podcast is to create a feeling of community, to be a supportive place for HSPs, and to normalize our experiences as highly sensitive people. Because I'm pretty sure we've all spent way too much time feeling like we're weird or don't fit in. Well, guess what? Here, you fit in perfectly. This podcast will give you tools to better understand yourself, to help you learn how to care for yourself as an HSP, and to start viewing your sensitivity as a strength. Thank you so much for joining me, and let's begin. Hey everybody, welcome to the Highly Sensitive Podcast. I realized that I did not get an episode out last weekend, which I totally meant to. We were on vacation last week, and the week before we were going, I had all the intention in the world to get the episodes for the 2 weeks when we would be gone ready and set to go and record them, edit them, all of that stuff. And I just did not end up having a chance to get 2 done. So I apologize again. I really, now that I've moved to doing these episodes weekly, I really do like to try to keep them weekly, but oh well, here we are. So my husband and my daughter and I went to Myrtle Beach last week for the week, and it was a lot of fun. Luckily, we were there before really all of the flooding stuff happened. I'm glad we didn't get stuck down there because we drove and we're in New Hampshire, so it was quite a drive. But luckily, the flooding did not affect our trip at all. But if there's anybody listening that is affected or has been affected by the flooding, my heart goes out to you. I hope everybody is safe and okay. It just sounds terrible, and I will not look at any pictures or videos because it just really sounds awful what's going on. So again, if you're listening, I'm so sorry that you are having to deal with this, and I'm sending all my love to you. So just to get back to vacation, I guess. Our vacation was really fun, and we actually went to the aquarium 5 times because we figured out that if you get the annual pass, if you go 2 times, you basically pay that off because our daughter is 2, so she was totally free. And so that worked out really well. Our daughter loved it so much. She'd never been to an aquarium before, but she loves fish. She loves mermaids. So she just had a blast. So yeah, we went 5 times. We also got to go to the beach a lot, which was really nice. The weather was actually great while we were there. It wasn't really supposed to be, but it was. So I feel very grateful for that. And now we came back and here we are. And when we left for vacation, it was still pretty much summer. And then when we got back to New Hampshire, it's definitely fall. So that's a little hard to adjust to the 80, 85 degree weather that we had on vacation. And then it's been about 65, 70 here, which isn't bad, but it's definitely getting chillier. And although I really do enjoy fall, I really feel like I thrive during the summer. I really love the hotter weather. So it's a little hard to adjust. So it's one of those adjustments, and I sort of start to feel like my body is going into hibernation mode a little bit when it gets to be fall, but we'll get through it. I do like fall. We have a lot of cool fall events that we are taking our daughter to in October, so I'm really looking forward to that. I think she'll have a lot of fun. And, so I almost forgot. I cannot believe I almost forgot about this. So I have some exciting news to share with you. And it is that the waitlist is now open for my new program, the Sensitive Self-Care Collective. I'll put the link to the waitlist in the episode description, but to tell you a little bit about it, it is a 12-week program that's all about learning how to really truly take care of yourself as a highly sensitive person, because we have different needs than the general population, and we have a different set of expectations, I feel like, than society generally has. So we need to do certain things to really make sure that we are actually taking care of ourselves. So besides the 12 modules, there is a community aspect, which I think is really going to be a really key component of learning all of the information and the tools and the strategies and then implementing them. because you will be connected with all of the other HSPs that are in the program, and you will be going through all of the same modules. You'll be learning the same things. You can chat with everybody 24/7. We'll all be in a chat together. So you can ask questions, you can offer support to other people, receive support, and it's going to be a really great way to connect with other HSPs, which I think is huge, and for everybody to grow together. And every week I will also be doing a Q&A session, so you can submit your questions. I will answer those. You can ask questions that are personalized to you with things that you are struggling with or just wondering about, so you get personalized answers. So it will be really great, I think really helpful for everybody to have my input and the input of the other members in the collective. So I'm so excited about this program. I've been working on it for a couple months, and I'm really excited to finally be announcing that it's open. And like I said, I'll put the link to the waitlist in the episode description. If you sign up for this program from the waitlist, you do automatically get $300 off of the program. You get a 60-minute one-to-one coaching call with me, and there are some other bonuses as well that you will get. Oh, and I also wanted to let you know that on Tuesday, October 8th, I'm doing a free webinar about 3 components that are really important to self-care for HSPs. So I will put the link to sign up for that in the episode description as well. I think it'll be a great introduction to being able to take care of yourself as a highly sensitive person. And these 3 components are something that I've come up with on my own. I haven't heard anybody else talk about why these 3 things are so important when it comes to really taking care of yourself as an HSP. So I'm very excited to share this with everybody. This isn't something I don't think that I've talked about before, so it will be pretty cool. I hope to see you there. So I don't think I said the time. So it's on Tuesday, October 8th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Like I said, it's totally free to go. If you're not able to join us live, I will send a recording of it to anybody who's signed up so you can watch it at your own time. I would love to see you there if you can make it live, though. It's great to have people there. You can ask questions, get some answers, we can connect. I love being able to really actually connect with people that listen to the podcast and are in my world in other ways too. Okay, so now to get into the episode. I'm sure you're very curious to hear 4 reasons why your self-care isn't working. And I'm sure I could have probably come up with more than 4, but these are the 4 things that instantly came to mind when I was thinking about reasons why an HSP's self-care might not be working. So here we go. So number 1 is you're doing what everybody else is doing. So like I was saying toward the beginning of this episode, we are wired differently than the general population. Society is not set up for our needs and what we are capable of, so we have different things that we need to do for ourselves. Like, we really need downtime. Even if you are an extroverted HSP, you need that downtime to balance out all of the socialization that you also need. So that's just one example of things that we need to make sure we do for ourselves. But if you are trying to do what your best friend or your partner or your parents or your coworker is doing and they're not highly sensitive, then that's probably not going to work. You are probably going to feel like you're just in this race that you can't keep up with other people. And I think all of us go through a period of time for whatever reason when we feel like we need to try to fit in, to do what everybody else is doing, because that's just sort of the expectation. And we find time and time again that it does not work for us. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you often or always feel exhausted. If you are constantly feeling drained, then you are either not doing enough for yourself to refill your cup, or you're not doing the right things that you need to do to relax, process everything, and refill your cup. We process things so deeply and so intensely that we need to make sure we have time to do that. And if you are going all the time, busy all the time, then your brain is not able to fully process things. And if that's the case, then you also might find that it's hard to fall asleep at night because your brain won't turn off, as we say sometimes. And that's because your brain is trying to process things from the day and it hasn't had a chance yet. And I find that happens to me sometimes, like on vacation, where we tend to be busier. Or if I'm just extra busy one day, sometimes my brain is just going at bedtime. And it makes it hard to sleep because it's just trying to process the whole day because I didn't build in time for that during the day. So being tired, feeling drained, and exhausted all the time is a great sign that you need to do more to take care of yourself and change up how your self-care works. Number 3 is you feel resentful of the time that you spend on others. So if you're listening to this, you are probably a highly sensitive person. I'm sure you already know that we tend to love to be there for other people, make sure that everybody else is doing okay, everybody is good, everybody has what they need. And we often neglect checking in with ourselves and seeing how we're doing and what we need. So if you feel like you're spending all of your time and energy on other people, it could be just one particular person or a couple people that you feel like you're putting a lot of energy in and not getting anything back as well. You're just spending energy on everyone around you, then it's a good sign that boundaries need to be set, which is a form of self-care. So that's an important thing to notice and be aware of. If you are feeling resentful, and then take a look at that situation, see what kind of boundaries need to be set. And in the Sensitive Self-Care Collective, we actually have 2 modules about setting boundaries because there is so much information about it. And I know that myself and everybody else in the collective will fully support you in learning how to set those boundaries and stick with them and feel good about it. And number 4 is that your self-care is inconsistent. So if you are doing some things for yourself once in a while, some days maybe not doing any kind of self-care because you're really busy or whatever the reason is, it's not going to do the job. If you are just doing a little bit once in a while, it needs to be done as consistently as you possibly can. And I'm not saying you need to be doing the exact same things all the time, every day in a really rigid schedule, but you need to be making sure that you do have some time every day for time to yourself, downtime, time for doing some sort of creative outlet, making sure that you are moving your body, especially if you have a job where you are sitting all day, whether that's running, walking, doing yoga, dancing, playing a sport, whatever kind of movement feels good for you. Looking at what you put into your body. What are you eating? Do you have a consistent diet? Are you eating things that make your body not feel great? Check in and see how things feel when you are eating them, once you've digested them, see how it sits with your body. Sometimes we're so busy, we just go, and we don't really realize how things are affecting us, whether that's what we eat, what we are taking in. Maybe that's watching the news too much. That can be pretty overwhelming sometimes. Maybe you are watching things or you are exposed to things where there's a lot of violence or there are a lot of high intense emotions or arguments. Those things can really impact you in a negative way. So being aware of those things is really, really important. And making sure that you are consistently attending to everything that you need to help yourself feel a little more balanced, less exhausted, feeling like you are living a life where you feel good generally and you don't feel like you are neglecting yourself or putting yourself out there too much for other people, where you feel like you are where you want to be. So the Sensitive Self-Care Collective addresses all of the things that I talked about in this episode, plus a lot more. And I even have a bonus training in there it's called Empathy Without Overwhelm. And I'm excited about that too. I think that is something that will be very helpful to people. And like I said, I'm so excited about this new program. If you feel like your self-care is not working, if you feel like you don't even know where to start when it comes to self-care, if any of these 4 reasons that I talked about resonated with you, I encourage you to at least sign up for the waitlist, get more information about the program, see how you're feeling, and if you're feeling the pull to join, please join. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. I would love to connect with you and help support you. By joining the waitlist, if you do decide to join, you do get some money off and some bonuses, like I mentioned before. So it can only help to join the waitlist if you then decide to join the program. So I guess this is the end of the episode. I do need to set up some more guest episode recordings. I think I have one more that I actually need to edit and post, but I have a lot of great guests sort of waiting in the wings to record with me. So I'm looking forward to those. I think you'll get a lot out of them just by quickly emailing with these people and knowing a little bit about what they do. I'm very excited that I have such a diverse range of guests. Everybody has such a different perspective and topic that they can cover about being highly sensitive and things that go along with that. So, very exciting. Thank you so much for listening. If you love this podcast, please rate and review it. It really means the world to me to see those 5-star reviews, if that's truly how you feel about this podcast, and especially to read the reviews that you write. It's amazing to me to get feedback about how this podcast has helped you. That's why I started it, so I really love to hear that it's helping people so much. And I've also received emails from people expressing that as well, which I do love. It would be great if you could also write that in the reviews so that people looking for a new podcast can read about how it's helped you as well. So thank you for that. And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Highly Sensitive Podcast. You can help support the podcast by taking a minute to rate and review it, share a favorite episode with a friend, or become a subscriber on Patreon at patreon.com/highlysensitivepodcast. Visit laurenlassalcoaching.com for free resources, information about my coaching programs, and to join my email list. You can connect with me on Instagram at selfcarewithlaurenlassalle or email me at lauren@laurenlassalcoaching.com.